Welcome also from my side. So MIS solution, first of all, before we come, let's say, to the features, to the benefits of our MIS solution, let me first explain a little bit what MIS solution for Heidelberg means. It's not like just another MIS. For us, MIS is an essential part of the entire workflow. Production and MIS integrated into one common workflow system. So we say Prinect the operating system for your print shop, and this is composed of production and MIS. And to do so, to have this full solution for all areas, we show 5 new major applications here at Drupa. So first of all, our new web-to-print solution. Then what we will talk about right here, our new MIS solution. We also have with the lino print machines also a full integration into production, into Prinect workflow. And we also can offer a mobile access to production data. So information about production status, not only from computer, but also from mobile devices like iPad, iPhone. And finally, smart automation, meaning no matter if you do digital, offset or hybrid, we will prepare, preset the machines, and so the data or the job will go automatically to these machines, and manual interactions, manual inputs will be avoided. For all these topics, we have classroom sessions here and can supply over there at our bookable stations demos for you. And now let's come to our MIS solution, the Prinect Business Manager. First of all, strategy of Heidelberg. For Heidelberg, MIS is a very essential part of our workflow. With the new Prinect Business Manager, we have extended our offerings significantly. We had MIS offerings with a partner in our product range for a very long time, but now this is a system that's completely developed and serviced by Heidelberg. So we have a full integration of MIS in production workflow via JDF-JMF interface, but we even will take this further. So today, MIS production, JDF-JMF interface. But we will merge these two areas. So MIS and production workflow will be one system, one common database. Everybody will have the same data, the same information, no matter if the order manager or the production people, everybody has the same knowledge. So before we come to what the business manager can do and how it can solve your topics, your issues in your print shop, let's first take a step back and ask, what do the print shop expect from an MIS solution? When I ask this to print shop owners, the first what I always hear is it has to offer a precise, fast and flexible estimating. Sure, this is always the core of an MIS system. Second, what gets more and more important is a good material and stock management. Material has a very high percentage of the total cost for a job, and throughput times get smaller and smaller. So you just have to know if material is available, and you have to provide this material as fast as possible in time. MIS has to support you with this task. And when customer has ordered, hopefully, then we want to bring this job as fast as possible into production workflow. And this is where an MIS has to support you, for the order manager not to run around and care for job preparation. Just do a few clicks and jobs should be ready for production. And finally, when it's in production, then we have to know about, was it a successful job or not? Financial figures, do I lose money? Do I earn money with the job? Do I lose money? Do I earn money with product groups, customer groups, or for all the jobs from one sales rep? And sure, this cannot be a big block. So for the big block, for the small print shop, for the big print shop, it has to be a scalable and tailor-made solution. Even the view for an order manager, for material manager, for general manager has to be different, has to be adapted to their needs. And finally, it should not be a standalone system. So it has to prepare the job for production, give all the data that is relevant for production over in the production workflow, so that you can start fast without big efforts and manual entries in the production workflow. Okay, but now let's have a look how the Prinect Business Manager can support these tasks. First of all, estimating. Accurate estimating is always the base for a successful print shop. So when we define a product, then we have to know what is the cheapest way of producing this job? The Prinect Business Manager automatically shows and suggests the cheapest way of production and shows you the other alternatives and what it is in comparison to the cheapest. So you always know, do it this way is the cheapest way, and this will really maximize your profit when you know what's the cheapest way of production. Flexibility, for example, estimating unlimited number of different quantities. No problem with the business manager. You can also create directly price tables and give this price tables as an Excel file to your customer. Or, for example, customers asking for brochures, flyers, posters. You can do this as a customer project and send a combined quote letter for all these requests to your customer. And if you are acting in an international environment or with a customer that's acting international, for example, we have here Audi as a partner at Drupa. Let's assume Audi A6 brochure, German, English, French, Spanish. You can create such a versioning job directly in the system and prepare it completely for production. Say on which sheet, which languages should be composed. Give this info to production. Versioning is completely prepared and you can start producing. So this helps you increase your margins as you have a fast and flexible estimating. So I was too fast, sorry. I mentioned stock and material management. We do not only administrate paper, so stock and material, this is much more. So also, let's say, packing material, tools, then, for example, finished goods for a customer, semi-finished goods. All these products, all these different parts can be administrated here with a complete warehouse solution. And you can also order the material directly out of the system. There are only a few clicks, send out the purchase order to your supplier, and when it comes in, just with a Wi-Fi scanner, scan it, and it will be booked to the stock. And you always also have to know about material status. So you will directly see the material status info as a list and graphically assisted. So you always know which paper is on stock. For example, if you have a job that has to be produced within the next hours, then you know which paper is in stock or which paper has to be ordered. So this helps you to reduce your material costs and also your handling costs. When customer is hopefully ordered, so then the job has to be prepared very fast for production. So this is a one-click preparation we will see later on, and you do not have to walk around or prepare something manually, just automatic preparation for production area. And when job is in production, then I want to know where my job is. So the detailed view on job status that we have directly in our MIS solution. And it's not only on a job base. The order manager always has to know what do I have to do, what is my to-do list for today, which jobs do I have to follow up. We will provide such lists, and so he can directly see by one click what he has to care for today. This helps, minimizes job handling costs and also the throughput times, because job preparation for production is very fast and we can start very soon to do the job. So starting the job in production means having the perfect integration with production workflow. So when we send the job over, then it will be automatically created by the JDF file from the MIS in the production workflow. But not only administrative data, also the entire process net, so the cooking recipe for the job, all production steps, at which machines, in which sequence, it's predefined. The layout, the impositioning, completely predefined. So for a standard job, in the pre-press area, just have to take the PDF data in, let it check automatically, and then you can start proving, plate making, and going for printing. And when the job is in production, we receive data back online from production to the MIS that can be used for further evaluation, for job costing, and for reports. So precise job costing, you see here, not only, let's say, as an overview, but also in detail for which parts of the job, make ready of the cover, good production of the inner sheets. Everything is can be seen here in detail in comparison of the estimate, the job as it was going into production, and the real costs. But not only for the job, we want to have the overview on, let's say, as mentioned before, product groups, customer groups. we have a wide range of financial and production reports that is included with the system that helps you on getting reliable financial figures. But if you say, okay, it looks good, these reports, but maybe we need some specials, something a little bit different to what you supply us, no problem. You can do your individual reports with the system, or you can even export all data to external systems like Excel and do your graphical interpretation of these reports in external systems. So this helps you to run your print shop based on reliable figures and not just on a rough estimate where am I profitable and where do I lose money. Before we have a view at some, let's say, examples of what I mentioned before in the live system, one word on the user interface. We have a task-oriented user interface with the Prinect Business Manager. So in the middle is always the customer. We care for the customer data for all the projects, estimates, jobs, invoices. Customers asking for a quote, we do an estimate, send out a quote letter, hopefully customer orders, then this quote will become a job. For this job we can care for outside services, sure for the materials, we can do the scheduling and give the job into production. Then we receive online production data back for job costing reporting, and when the job is finished we can take it to warehouse or directly start shipment and invoicing. But now I think this is enough presentation in PowerPoint. Let's have a look at the live system. Katja, I think let's start with a view on the estimate. So we have here an example of an estimate, just a standard brochure. We see the cover, the inner parts. We see the colors, which plates are necessary. We also see directly the folding scheme and the impositioning scheme. So we see, for example, if it's a work and turn job or if it's a perfecting job. And if we open this impositioning scheme, then we directly see here detailed infos like gripper margins, and we could also modify it here. This data is also taken over to production workflow and used in the Signa station. So if your order manager has detailed production know-how, he can really define this into detail, and production workflow can reuse this data. So let's assume now our estimate is finished, price is defined. Now we want to send out the quote letter to our customer. So our quote letter can be easily accessed, and how this quote letter looks like depends on your special needs and wishes. We deliver, let's say, a standard document, but you can adapt it with an integrated layout generator very easily to your special needs. So what has to be on the quote letter, it's your definition, it's your decision. We can do it in just the way you need it. Okay, now we've sent out the quote letter, but did we really care for material? We had to have a look before if material is available, so to choose, let's say, the best material for this job. And this is why a complete warehouse and material solution is integrated. For example, this is a view on the stock of our demo print shop here at Drupa. So we have a stock for material, we have stock for tools, for inks, for plates, and also stock for customer products. So for customer Audi, for example, we have finished products on stock, and we can directly see for this customer that we have, let's say, a brochure, 1,500 pieces of this brochure on stock. But how do we handle stock? For example, take material from one stock position, from the central paper stock to a machine. This can be done very easily by drag and drop or by taking a Wi-Fi scanner. And then you can directly print out a label that could be placed on the sheet, on the pallet, so that you can always identify where my paper is. So running around looking for the paper that the printer needs to start printing, this is history. Here you will always see where the paper is and can identify it directly. Okay, with the help of good estimating and material management, hopefully we made a good quote and customer ordered. So how do we bring the job into production? We show this, how easy this can be done. So we're here in our job overview, and by just pressing one button, saying, I reserve the material, I create the order back, I create the JDF job ticket for production, press OK, and then all the data will be transferred to the production workflow. So very fast, just a few seconds, job is prepared for production. And which information we get into production, this is what we will have a look right now. So now we change our position. So your order manager has then sent the data for production. Now we have a look at the production workflow. Now I'm the pre-press guy and the production manager. We have the user interface, the Prinect cockpit. So in this Prinect cockpit, the view for the production, we have now our job, and now let's have a look which information we got from the MIS. So from the MIS, first of all, we got the contact information for the customer, but we also have the order bag that we've created is directly available as an HTML job ticket. So you see here the definition, how the job has to be produced. You have a barcode on it, so this is available at all machines, at all data terminals. So you could directly scan the barcode and load the job at the machines by scanning the barcode. So very easy way of job handling in production. But this is not all information we get into production. We also have the entire process net, so the cooking recipe for the job, what has to be done, at which machines, what's the sequence of these actions is completely predefined. Nobody has to manual key this in, completely predefined. And we also have the layout, what we will see in the production workflow. So we see here, layout is predefined. We just have put the PDF data on it, so directly assigned automatically. And now I could start proof plate making. So less effort, minimum effort for the pre-press guy. Okay, now we have started our production, and the order manager wants to know what happens in production. Where is my job? What's the current status? So now let's do a step back. Now I'm again the order manager. I'm caring for my jobs in the MIS. And in the MIS, I can directly see in the job overview, where is my job in production. So I can have a view at the pages. So I see all the pages that have been created by the PDF customer sent to me. I directly see the pre-flight status. So I can access in the MIS the pre-flight status. And I would see, for example, page 3, page 8 are not okay. Could call the customer and ask him for revised data, for PDF data that fits. Without calling production, without sending some paper-based notes to somebody or sending an email, he will see directly in the MIS. And he will also see the status, so which production step has been finished and which production step is currently going on. We see the preview for all sheets. We see for each production step if it's already in work, how much has been done, so amount, and we see the duration and also the scheduled date and the scheduled time. So full information directly in the system. So this helps the order manager of having the full transparency on all the jobs he's responsible for. But when the job is finished, then we want to know if we earned money with this job. So do the job costing comparison with estimating. And this can be accessed also by one mouse click. We see always the comparison of estimating, so how was the quote letter defined? Then production, so how was the job going into production? Could be different. Maybe machine is blocked, you had to take another machine. And the real costs. And then we can compare the real costs with the estimate, the real costs with production. So first view should always be here. So this is the summary. If this is green, then everything is okay. But we could have a detailed view on each section, on each part of the job. For example, see if proof, plates, production, offset production, digital production, finishing, if this was profitable or not. If it's profitable, it's green. If it was not profitable, it's red. And you will see into detail what happened with your job. So we could be relaxed. This job was profitable, as we've seen. But will all the jobs for this customer or for the sales rep responsible for this customer be profitable? This is a report that we could also access directly in the system. For example, okay. So there's a lot of different reports integrated. For example, you could compare for one sales rep what are the estimated costs, what are the real costs, and what are, let's say, the costs for the job as it was going into production. And by this comparison, we will directly know, coming from an overview for a sales rep, going to the customer, going into each single job, if I was profitable or not. But this is just one example of a lot of reports available with the system. But Let's now finish our short overview on, let's say, some highlights of the Prinect Business Manager and come back to the start, what I mentioned with integration between MIS and production workflow. So this is the current status. MIS sends JDF data to production, receives JMF data back. So this is a good integration that we already have today. But we will take this further. So this is the future. MIS production workflow, only one system, one common system configuration, one common database. Everybody has the same information, the same data, change order or different information, different areas. This will be history. Everybody has the same information. For example, if color code changes in production, so customer said it would be a 4-color job, PDF data is for a 5-color job, then in MIS we directly know and can recalculate the costs and tell the customer it would cost X euro in addition to produce it as a 5-color job. We do not have to, let's say, have a call with the production area. They do not have to send mails or write notes. We will directly know. So this is the future with an integrated system, MIS production. So to summarize it, with the Prinect Business Manager, we can offer you a modular and scalable solution because things like reporting, job costing, material management, these are options. If you say, just want an estimating system, give some data into production, you can start small and migrate big, and let's say later on add these functionalities, add these options. It's a well-proven MIS solution. More than 160 customers worldwide already use this solution. And it's also, for Heidelberg, a very important topic for the Prinect workflow. So we extend our service team, our R&D team, because this is one of the focus topics for Heidelberg. I think you've seen how already today we have a unique integration between MIS and production workflow, and we want to take you with us on the way towards one integrated, one melted, merged system between MIS and production, a USP that can only be achieved with the Heidelberg Prinect workflow. So if I raised your interest to get more information on our MIS solution, then we could offer you a 30-minute demo over there at our bookable stations. Or we have also the Prinect Business Manager up and running here in all production areas, supporting our machines, supporting the production workflow. And our consultants up here also would be happy to support you in showing you how such an MIS solution could be introduced in your company. It leaves me to thank for your attention and wish you an interesting day at Drupa and at Heidelberg. Thank you.